very exciting things happening at Wilcon. But I have to ask you about your role also as president of the PRA. This is the other PRA, the retailers, but not the retirement authority. But the retailers, I suppose, are also seeing similar things. But there, we had a break, but you were onto some interesting stories at Wilcon Depot.
Yeah.
Let's wrap that up. But because there were other technology offerings now, you want to talk about that?
Well, that retail is hinged on technology. In fact, for us to be able to achieve efficiency in our operations and also in inventory management, we always depend on technology. And even before the pandemic, one of the projects of retail really is that of the retail associations that to equip our retailers, our members, to equip them to be globally competitive, not just in the kind of service that they offer, but basically also at par with international standards in terms of the service and giving that seamless customer experience. And how can you do that also? You can only do that, but of course if you depend on technology, like what we introduced lately at Wilcon, we have the VR, we call it the virtual reality store experience. So, in the comfort of your homes, you can have access to that, and then you feel like you're teleported to the store, and you can see the different vignettes and different, applications, or the showcases that we have. So you can navigate the store through that VR experience. And I guess many of the retailers also have adopted. Many of the retailers have evolved, especially during the pandemic. So they're trying to marry the online and offline now. As I've mentioned, online, is really complementary with the offline. We've seen a lot of trends now, if you've heard about the click and collect, the curbside pickup, and all these things.
That's happening now.
Many ways. It's happening. Wow. No, it's happening now, many different ways on how to, to make the customer shopping experience more, convenient, more seamless, and easy for everybody, especially coming from the effects of the pandemic.
Now, it's interesting. I heard your presentation at the Manila Times Forum once on retail, that you were talking about these things, that the convergence of the digital and the brick and mortar. And it's interesting to see how it is panning out, because a lot of people thought that after the pandemic people would simply go back to the stores, but we're seeing sort of a combination.
It's more of the hybrid approach, right? So it's
is
really,
that the future now, you think?
Well, I guess, some of the first world countries, they're very strong with online shopping, e-commerce, But here in the Philippines, because the Filipinos, they're more like when they shop, it's really more of the the experience that that the shopping can offer them, And compared to other countries, we don't have so many parks, you meet friends, you socialize in the malls, you socialize
so the
in the shops,
space is the park.
So the retail space is the it's your Facebook, it's your Instagram, it's your social place, to interact, especially when you shop. It's all about not just buying the product, but basically having that experience, and the transaction is not because you just want the product, but basically you want the experience, and you build relationship. Just like at Wilcon, many of our customers, there were our customers. I'm sure you're our customer now. Your father's been our customer, and of course it passed on to many generations, So it's really more about the relationship, especially when you're building a home. You have to keep on coming back. You just don't go one time in the store, right?
You've been traveling quite a bit, and I'm sure when you travel, you probably, like me, you go see the retail stores there. You see your businesses abroad and compare, probably get some ideas. Now, one thing I don't like about the U.S., for instance, it's, I guess because of the aging society, there's not much human interaction now, even in brick and mortar stores. Do you think that's how we're going to evolve as well, or are you seeing something different, for retail here in the Philippines?
I don't think, not yet in the Philippines, because we still have very strong, basically our median age about 24, 25,
so very young,
right? So still very young, but we still have those baby boomers and the millennials, and I guess the what do you call them, the Gen X, the Gen
Maybe
X
I'm
and
just
Y.
old-fashioned. I'm not sure. I'm not get confident in the self-checkout, and these concepts that you go in the store and then you're automatically debited, from your phone that has a credit card registered to it,
I always believe for us to innovate, you have to get out of your comfort zone,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So I find it really exciting. I've tried doing those kind of shopping. We call it the O2O,
I knew
online to
you were gonna
offline,
do those
right?
things.
Online to offline, wherein,
Right.
everything is seamless. But I guess the Philippines is not yet ready for that
Yeah.
because of the confidence.
Right.
I mean, the confidence in the sense, on the part of the retailer,
Right.
of course, honesty basis is
Sure,
not,
sure.
even if you notice, the bendo machine didn't work much here compared to other countries, right? So it's really more of the readiness of the market,
Right.
and of course, I guess it's the security and the confidence, yeah.
Right. And what about transactions? I know there's a lot of technological development there, with digital wallets and things. Is that something that you think that will be integrated soon? I know that's...
Yeah,
in
retailers is always on the lookout for new trends, for new innovations, new ways of, serving our customers, no? Like, for example, I would say that Wilcon continuously try to improve, try to innovate, try to be adapted to, because the consumers, preferences is changing very fast, especially in retail. Everything is fast, the trends, the behavior of the customers is very fast. So you really have to be adaptive. And you can only do that through technology. That's why I keep on saying retail is always hinged on technology. And really technology helps help retailers to be more efficient, to be more effective in the way that they serve their customers.
Yeah. Well, we have a government that's going to be celebrating, its 1 year in office. The palace is now working on its second...
The digital transformation.
Well, I was going to say the second State of the Nation address.
Yeah.
And, digitalization is a big part of that. Is there something that, the retailers would like to see from the Marcos government so that it will, improve business even more?
Definitely, definitely coming from the experience during the pandemic. So many of the retailers now are adaptive to, contactless payment options.
Okay.
Like you mentioned about e-wallet, you mentioned about, different ways, online payments and all of these things.
Right.
No? For one, you address the security also, the security aspect, instead of, receiving cash, managing cash,
Right.
cash management
You
is
don't
going to
worry
be
about
easy and
going to the
more
bank
secured, no?
Yeah.
It's really the mindset, I would say, no? But I guess we're now prepared for that, and the government's really pushing pushing us retailers to adapt to this, contactless payment initiatives, no?
Right. And is there any other reforms that you would like government to see? Because I had the Danish ambassador here once, and he was still complaining about, customs, and despite all of the effort to reduce red tape, I know you guys are importing a lot, but is there something else that the government could focus on to make it easier or better for Wilcon and businesses like you?
I guess the contactless approach, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, if you digitize everything, if you make everything, seamless from end to end, that would help business, and that would help government as well. Save on time, save on people, and then more secured for the business and more secured for the government as well.
Right. And you were talking about the VR earlier, and I should circle back to that because I remember you telling me that you're going to receive an award this year for that?
Yeah, for that in Singapore. No, it's a retail award. No, so we just received the notice. No, that we were recognized for that initiative.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And then the PRA, what's going on this year? Do you have your annual
we have
GMM or conference, or what's going on?
After 2 years of hiatus,
Yes.
although we still remain to be relevant and connected with our members, at the time that during the pandemic when everything was, on a halt, we still continue to connect with our customers through our webinars, you call it webinars, the online learning sessions, So basically at PRA, we try to really help our members to, provide them knowledge, provide them information, pass them on the different knowledge and information on how to be at par with international standards. So we're coming up with the Outstanding Filipino Retailers Award this coming June 8.
Okay.
Actually, we rested for 2 years, no?
Okay.
So,
Because of
but
the
this
pandemic.
year, yeah, it's going to be different because we will recognize retailers who are more resilient, who thrive and survive, or the retailers that innovated during the pandemic, no? So we will recognize these retailers, the large, the medium, and the small retailers, and we'll be giving an award also, the President Awards. Actually, it's a recognition given by the President to a personality who had, contributed so much for retail. And that person would be Joey Concepcion, who helped us really navigate it. Yeah, during the pandemic, from testing to tracing and access to vaccine, So that's why we will be recognizing him in June 8. And another thing, this coming August 9 to 10, we'll be coming up with the biggest retail show in the country. Actually, even in the Asia APEC, I would say RPRA NRCE, the National Retail Conference and Exhibition, it's the biggest, So we will be having it for 2 days. We'll have the conference, and of course, we'll have the exhibition also, wherein all the suppliers and allied partners would be showcasing their products. And mind you, we will be having, the creme de la creme, top gurus who would be our keynote speakers for the event.
Wow, sounds exciting. Now, one of my dreams really is to see Philippine companies go abroad. And we're seeing this with some, right? I mean, there's Jollibee, San Miguel, right? And I'm glad to see that many of the things I see abroad are now available here. What would it take, do you think, for our Filipino retailers to start, venturing overseas? What kind of, is there something the government can do, or is it really just a purely a private sector initiative?
Well, we have, Filipino is very, in terms of, let's say, the products that we have.
It's world class.
It's world class, I would say, It's just really a matter of having access to the market, of course. You talk about the big players that were out, and they're quite successful. Like, for example, Jollibee, Max's, they're all successful, So basically, I guess, it's really the unique product or the unique offerings that prevails, that I would say in outside the country would, especially there are a lot of Filipinos all over the world, right? I mean, they're scattered all over the world. So they'll be your first customer, like, for example,
my dream really is just to see a Wilcon depot abroad.
Well, that's also my dream.
Where you have a one-stop shop for all of the Philippine products that people need in their homes. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. This is Business and Politics. We'll take a quick break. We're talking to Rosemarie Bosch-Ong of Wilcon Depot.